Okay, so today we're looking at lesson 8-2, oops, sorry, 8-2, and it's page 273. And so before we start, to find the missing angle measurements, we need to remember one important thing, is that when we look at a full circle, we need to know that a full circle has a measurement of 360 degrees. So to go all the way around a clock or a full circle, it's 360 degrees. And we need to remember that if we have an angle measurement from one side of a line to another side, a flat line, that full angle is 180 degrees. Okay? So using that information, we can create equations to solve the different angle measurements of everything on page 273. So if we look at number 1, we have something that looks like this, and here it says this part is 65 degrees. So if we needed to figure out what this angle is, angle C here, then we know that the whole thing is 180. So our equation would be 180 minus 65 equals angle C. Another way we could do it is 65 plus what equals 180. So we could also do 65 plus what equals 180. Okay, and that would be the equation to solve that. I'm going to make you do that. Looking at number 2, we know that a full circle is 180 degrees. So if the skateboarder does, if this part of things is 270 degrees, then we need to know what angle S is. And so again, we could do it as 360 minus this 270 that we know equals the missing part of S. We could also do it as 270, so this 270 plus S equals 360. So that is the missing number that we need to solve. For number 3, we can look at the moving truck and we can see the angle of the ramp on the moving truck. And so we have this information, and so we know if this is the angle of the moving truck, and we know this whole thing is 108. Emmy, can you turn the water off? Thanks. If we know this whole angle is 180 degrees, and then, or I'm sorry, 160 degrees, then this part is what? Because the whole thing has to be 180. So we could do it as 180 minus 160 equals our question mark, or angle R. Or we could do 160 plus angle R equals 180. Okay? Number 4, again looking at number 4, we know that the whole pizza is 360 degrees. Okay, so the whole thing is 360. And if all of this part over here is 270 degrees, then the part of the pizza is what? So 270 plus what equals 360, or 360 minus 270 equals what? And that's letter P. Looking at number 5, 5 is a little bit different because we can tell that the person sitting in the chair, if you look at that chair back, and I'm not going to draw the whole chair, but if you look at that chair back, just in that corner, you can see that little red box in the corner. And so when you see those little red boxes in the corner of an angle, you know that it's a right angle. And you know all right angles are 90 degrees. So if the person's back is kind of slunched to here, and it says this part is 65, then you know angle C plus 65 is a total of 90. So 65 plus C equals 90. And family of facts, 90 minus 65 equals letter C. And then the same thing for number 6. We're working with another 90-degree angle for number 6 because that's a right angle. And so number 6, we can tell that the person doing her exercise, everybody should be doing that. We have that right angle marker here telling us that's a 90-degree angle. And that leg is going right out this way. And if this is 45 and angle L, we know this angle of 45 plus L equals 90. So 45 plus L equals 90, or 90 minus 45 equals L. Okay? Okay, so that's it for page 273. And if you look at page 274, you're going to be doing the same information, but you're just going to be filling in the table. Okay? And you know that if you look at the field of vision, okay, if you look at number 1, let's say, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm just going to start off with these. So we've got our human and our fox, M please, and our horse, cat, dog, owl, and deer. Okay, so if a human has 180 degrees that they can see, you can see, looking at that field of vision, that they've got all of this. That human can see all of this. So they can see 180. And you need to know that field of vision plus the blind part should equal 360, because that's that full circle again, right? So a human can see 180. So 180 plus what equals 360, okay? Well, I know this is exactly 180, so that bottom part is exactly 182. And I know 180 plus 180 is 360. So their blind is 180 also. A fox, they have 260. They can see 260 degrees. That's pretty good. So their blind area in back is a little bit smaller. So I know the vision plus the blind spot equals 360. So I could do 360 minus 260 equals their blind spot. So 360 minus 260 equals 100. So their blind spot is 100. For the horse, oh my goodness, horse, wow, they have got some great vision. Not much blind spot. If a horse has a visual field of vision of 357, they can pretty much see almost everything, because their field of vision plus their blind spot equals 360. So what is 360 minus that field of vision? And you'll see that that horse has a very, very, very small blind spot of only 3. Okay, and sorry, I'll title this one. Okay. So, the cat. Oh, so here we're kind of opposite, but we still know that you add the field of vision plus the blind spot, and that will equal 360. Okay? So for the cat, we don't know how much they can see, but we know they can't see 160. So we could do 360 minus that 160 that they can't see, because we've already figured that part out. And we will find out how much they can see. And they can see 200. And the dog is the same way. For the dog, we don't know what the dog can see, but the dog can't see 120 degrees. So we know 360 minus 120. So the dog can see 240. And it's pretty interesting. If you look at the eye placement of all these different animals, you'll really notice the difference between animals that have their eyes right in the front or animals that have them a little bit more on the side, and that's the difference between that predator-prey. So we'll do two more, owl and deer, and then you're going to have to finish the last ones on your own. So the owl is 110 degrees, and the deer is 90 degrees here. Okay, so the owl, if they can see 110 degrees, we will subtract that from that total. And 6 minus 1 is 5, and 3 minus 1 is 2. So they can't see, 250 degrees. And then the deer, okay, the deer also has a really small blind spot. And that's because they have those eyes on the side of their head for the prey. And so we know that they can't see 90 degrees. So when I do my subtraction, then 16 minus 9 is 7. So they have an amazing field of vision of 270 degrees. So go ahead and finish the Cooper's hawk, the rat, and the dragonfly on your own. And then just if you think about it, when you're looking at page 275, you're going to still figure out that same type of situation. You're going to use that table. So you can go ahead and try that and then see how it goes. Okay.